You specifically came into makeup today and you were like, hello, I would like to have pink hair everywhere.
Well,
that's what happened.
They did give me an option of 3 colors, and I did choose pink.
What were the other 2?
Yellow, and I don't remember the third.
Okay.
I don't remember colors. It's one of my deficiencies. Sunshine with Cinder, though, we have game number 1 of this best of 3 between Alliance and Team Spirit. And we've cast a lot of Team Spirit, so we're pretty comfortable with what they have to offer. Alliance, again, we've talked about it so many times, they haven't gotten to play a whole lot. They got destroyed in the first round versus PSG.LGD, probably the worst matchup for them.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
That was a tough draw for sure. One of the 2 strongest teams in the tournament right now, as it looks. Yeah, we'll see. So, obviously, in that PSG.LGD series, Alliance, especially in game number 1, did not look too shabby, but ultimately they did get just a little bit outclassed. Yeah. And just LGD had a very good understanding of how to delay the game when Alliance were looking strong. Team Spirit not at PSG.LGD's level based on what we've seen in groups. So going into the series, I personally think it's going to be close. Just because Team Spirit really won me over during the groups. I think they had a lot of great performances in individual games. They got, I believe, a draw against EG, Vici Gaming, and I think PSG.LGD as well. Actually, they did draw that series as well. So they definitely have it in them. And considering they got like 5 draws in the groups, what happens in the 3rd game is what we would have to see in that case if they get to a 3rd game.
That's true. We have no idea how they perform in that 3rd and crucial game, huh? I didn't even think about that. But we have, I mean, the thing, again, I'm just going to bring this up over and over again. We're just beating a dead horse here. Team Spirit just loves to pick these kind of off-meta heroes. I don't know if Wind Ranger will constitute or count as that. I mean, for Slacks, it's always out of meta, I suppose. But what are your thoughts on this hero in this game? It's going to be on Toronto, Tokyo for the mid matchup.
Yeah, it seems like they specifically picked this hero because they like the matchups. Wind Ranger, notoriously one of the best laners against Viper, because everything Viper does that kills mid is auto attack based, and you have Wind Run. So once you hit level 6, you can even pressure and try to kill the Viper if you get level 6 before Viper does, especially. You can see Limp. He knows this matchup. He's not even going to skill Poison Attack. He starts out with Corrosive Skin, and he's just trying to get some CS here. We'll get the first range creep denied, however, so good start.
He also has the most hideous cosmetic set in the entire game, not just for Viper, for any hero. This thing is an absolute abomination.
Imagine being a dinosaur, and you had to look at this every day. In full body.
Is that what dinosaurs look like? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know.
It's like a pterodactyl or something? All right, well.
Like the panel predicted, it is going to be support Lesh and Grim, the Leshrac being the position 4 in this instance, being played by Hanskin. A hero that we've seen quite a bit in this tournament, but I think every game we've seen has been core. It's been 3-2, I believe, every single time, so this is refreshing. I'm personally a really big fan of the hero as a support, but I don't think it has been necessarily the best time for it. Collapse!
Yeah, that last right click was enough. That's first blood going the way of Alliance.
Did not expect that time dilation level 1 probably coming out from Nico, baby.
I mean,
FNG with some good spell connection.
The Ink Swell will come out. Doesn't look like it's going to connect. Ever since they added that damage over time to the time dilation, it just felt like Void has been picked a lot more consistently. Despite, you know, the nerfs, I guess you can call it, to... I mean, the biggest difference that they made with this hero, other than that, was just not having an Ags that would lower the cooldown of your ult, because the ult is like everything about this hero, but maybe not quite as much now. Is that, you think, the biggest reason that we're seeing the hero a little bit more?
I think there's also just some types of heroes that teams gravitate more toward in the major tournaments, right? Like when the games get higher stakes, you like having late game insurance, you like having a big team fight. 2 things that Void usually brings to the table. So I think that also plays a role, but definitely he has been feeling better since the dilation change, and I'll say his talent change is a good arrow from Mira.
Yeah, is there going to be...
Should be a kill.
A tree to latch onto? Looks like it will. Not even be needed. They rebuke into the spear, and like you said, the arrow set everything up, so...
Shannon, can you explain this to me?
Yes.
He got killed by the spear.
Yeah.
Where did the body go?
The body, I feel like, should technically be pinned to the tree.
Right.
And I think if you buy back during the spear projectile, you should be spawned back into the spear tree.
And get stunned.
Yes.
That sounds great.
And then you should re-enable the buyback thing for Tiny and Timbersaw. Yeah, very important.
So something the panel were talking about was the Underlord versus Wraith King matchup, where Underlord is one of the best heroes at handling this hero because he can, you know, get multiple points in Atrophy Aura and just push out the wave with Firestorm. And when the skeletons die in the lane, you get more and more empowered as Underlord to get more CS. Clearly a counter pick here from S4, which also has synergy with Chronosphere. So I really like the idea of the Underlord here. Also works relatively well in lane with the Leshrac. You have a little bit of a setup for the Lesh stun. Not the best in Pit of Malice, but it's something. So this is a hero we haven't seen very much. I believe we've seen, as a matter of fact, Team Spirit play it on Collapse in the group stages. I think we had a game where they played it. Don't think it had too much success overall so far, though.
And Yutara playing the Wraith King, or I guess technically this is, in fact, Skeleton King. Kind of this, I don't want to call it a pseudo, it's a very common pick against a Chronosphere type hero like Void, where, you know, yeah, you might die, but you're so hard to kill a second time in a lot of the cases, so good to see for Team Spirit they're able to get something like that out there. But yeah, I agree with you as far as the assessment of this series. I do think this is going to be closer than we probably would have originally said coming into this tournament as a top lane. Okay.
Another connection.
Nico, baby. Yeah. I mean, they do have some wombo comp, I don't want to call it that, but the setup for the arrow, in theory, if you can get a spear into a tree, both technically skill shots, but one's easier to connect than the other. As a Grimstroke will fall as well,
nice
but Slur's going to be missed here. And Focus should be fine.
I feel like actually something we haven't really covered enough is when it comes to Faceless Void, right? We need to remember when Alliance picked this hero. They first picked Lesh, and then they picked Void. Wraith King should get out of this alive.
Should he? Firestorm is ticking him down. Whew.
He actually died.
Percentage base damage.
So what if I swagger? He dies 2 seconds later. That's great. So when Alliance picked Void second in this draft, obviously you're going to see Team Spirit try to find some solutions. They already had the AA. But the Mirana 4 is actually a very good hero against Faceless Void. So the way you usually kill this hero is one of two ways. Either you bully him in lane by just constant harassment, like with something like Venomancer, you know, like that Time Walk doesn't work against, or you have overwhelming stun duration, so Time Walk can't really be used effectively, and that's where Mirana really comes into play. She's a good counter. She even has the added benefit of having Moonlight Shadow, and Void, what kills Void usually, you get caught off guard. So you come out of Invis, you hit him with a spear into that arrow. As was pointed out here by Scriff, our observer for the series, Windrainer's getting absolutely destroyed by Limp. I am very surprised.
Yeah, this is an absolute dumpster. He's almost a full level ahead, and obviously the CS is not remotely close. Of course, Limp is going to be a little bit more proficient at taking out a lot of these small camps, so it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's deceiving, but it's a little bit more than you would think.
This is an 800 gold lead with no kill. That is crazy.
I mean,
at 6.
The entire lead for Alliance right now is that right now. So
Limp is a very proficient laner.
And he's going to get his Viper Strike off. Actually, bottles the haste rune as well. Toronto Tokyo knows he won't live through this, so has to just TP out to be able to survive. And now Mira caught on the wrong side. Oh, the double leap. I like that.
He needs to TP though.
Well, Limp doesn't look like he's going to find, but he does find a stack, and that might be more valuable than a Mirana kill, in all honesty.
It honestly is, yeah.
Whew. Yeah, Limp off to an incredible start right now.
He is definitely doing a great job.
I mean, tell me about this as we're going to see potential action here at Pit of Malice. He actually has to walk a very awkward place, awkward route, I should say, up to the top. So a nice Pit of Malice overall from S4. But, I mean, you have a Faceless Void pick, and you don't really have that much follow-up. Like, it's not a wombo combo type thing. You have Firestorm, which obviously scales into the late game. This is a support Lesh.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? Is that an issue?
It's only an issue if you have to use Chrono on a key target that is not Wraith King, and your lineup relies on bursting. I don't think Alliance's lineup needs to start with Chrono at all. I think they can get an Atos and Underlord. Oh man, start that way.
This is a long chase. This is going to be a double rune on top of the Firestorm as well. So another death for Yutara. He might have to just go in the jungle at this point.
Yeah. So this is a really interesting pairing. Leshrac is one of the few heroes who has a stun that doesn't scale in duration. It starts on 2 seconds at the beginning of the game, and the thing that scales up is the radius and the damage. Most other stuns, or at least many of them, scale in duration. And I think the reason that Alliance really like this lane with Underlord is that because it's such a strong stun level 1, if you do connect it on Pit of Malice, that's a guaranteed double snap. And you saw this ensure them this kill on Wraith King and ensure a lot of pressure on him beforehand. So they are definitely off to an awesome start here. Only really one hero thriving on Team Spirit, and that is the Mars. I guess Mirana's also okay-ish. She obviously got bullied a lot there by the Viper haste rotation that we just saw a moment ago. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit concerned for Spirit with this start.
Ooh, Split Earth will not connect Toronto Tokyo with that double damage. And this is going to be a huge kill for Toronto Tokyo, considering the lead that Limp had at that point.
That is a big one.
Nice pickup. We're going to see a Chronosphere in the top lane, but not a whole lot of damage to follow this up with. In fact, the Mirana arrow is going to come from the other side. I believe he's got his teammate in there as well. And the Shackle Shot does connect. Nico, baby. No time walk for another 8 seconds. Collapse. Might be able to get a little bit more here.
Almost missed.
Wind Ranger for the win. Toronto Tokyo with a triple kill across 2 lanes.
What a bizarre way to find a triple kill. You find a DD, kill the Viper in the river.
Yeah.
You TP top, power shot a guy who's chronoed by his own teammate.
Yeah.
And then you run down the third guy with your Mars. And yeah, that's all right. That's basically Alliance's entire lead.
He's back.
Is gone from that sequence.
Miposhka getting pushed out of this lane for now. Just inside this tree line here. Not quite level 6 right now.
He is in trouble now.
If he pops the Diabolic Edict, then he's going to
did S4 just phase boost straight through him?
Not going to connect. Yeah, Miposhka, nice.
Actually worked against him. He would have blocked him.
Mira gets a nice Starstorm off, but looks like they will defend this, surprisingly enough. I mean, Hanskin, the Diabolic Edict not really applying to the tower for too long, so.
Are they going to just keep Miposhka parked down here to just take experience? He's already level 6, minute 9, so will not need a tome. They may even give the tome to Wraith King at this rate, who's also only level 6, as Mirana has been having a pretty good time, so she should be able to find her level 6 down here in just a second with another wave. Yeah, I would like to see that tome go on a core, because I don't think these levels on the supports are massively impactful. There's some supports where getting level 7, 8, 9, 10 is like massive. This does not feel like one of those games. Oh, that is not a good spear.
It is not, but they probably have enough damage after the fact. So all is well for Team Spirit there.
Nice
and bottom lane, yeah, they're going to take Hanskin out, and now S4 on the run, both Mira and Miposhka. I mean, these are the 2 supports kind of bullying this lane right now.
All right.
As we have Wind Ranger again taking a Viper Strike to the face with a Focus Fire, and the Power Shot is going to connect. He's actually just going to die. Didn't really have much to do there, but did quite a bit of damage to Limp in the meantime.
Yep. Big kill, so Limp is back at the top of the board. Grabbing that one, he overtakes S4 once again. I will say, I've played quite a lot of support Leshrac, and I really enjoy it when the lane goes well and you can kind of snowball. We'll wait on that for a second.
Baiting this. They know that he wanted to come Diabolic Edict that tier 1 tower.
Let's see you next game.
And this is a very safe and well-executed kill from Team Spirit.
He's struggling on Lesh, and if you have a good start and you're snowballing and you get to go and Edict towers, it feels amazing. He's bottom net worth as position 4 Lesh. This hero does not play well from behind.
Ooh, the bash into the Inkswell, and with Limp here, that's going to be a clean kill for Alliance this time around. So Collapse takes a tumble.
Nico's going Maelstrom. I'm not sure what guides you as Void between Midas, Maelstrom, Mask of Madness, and Battle Fury. I think Battle Fury just is not in fashion right now, right? It's too slow.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the reasoning is for not rushing Mom or Midas here with the start that he had. Maybe he feels like he's a little bit too far behind. Maybe he thinks they need the damage in early fights from the Maelstrom. He will get Mask of Madness after this, I'm almost certain. But sometimes you see them bought in reverse order.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto Tokyo going for, I mean, the Maelstrom as well, so that's way more standard. I feel like that's almost always the first pickup for these mid-Wind Rangers anyway.
Yeah, it's either that or Javelin to BKB. Those are the 2 primary
Collapse and company are smoked now. He doesn't quite have his Blink Dagger, about 300 off from finishing that. But if they can get a nice kill here into the enemy jungle, see if they have any stacks available to take. Doesn't look
good
like that is the
smoke break
case.
here from FNG.
Yep, FNG gets the silence off to start things off. Inkswell will connect, but he might get procced here by the cold feet. Nope, but the magic damage is going to be way too much to deal with, but still, they'll take that, I think.
It was such a good smoke break, and then he just ran into them and died. I don't even know if he had to die there. I think breaking the smoke might have been enough. But he wanted to be 100% sure he protects his core, so he leads the enemy team astray, and the big boy, Void, well, he's not the big boy right now, but the goal is for him to become the big boy. Yep, that's indeed the big boy. Scriff Underlord is a very big boy.
I mean, let's go back to this conversation about not having a huge amount of follow-up into the Chronosphere, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, Void is kind of a here you just need a bunch of items before you can actually kill people yourself in a Chronosphere.
Correct.
So usually, if you have a team that, like a Cataclysm or some crazy spell like that, AA even, to accompany you, can help, you know, get some good Chronospheres in the meantime until you are that farm, but they don't really have that. So what's What's the plan here exactly from Alliance from the carry perspective?
I think the plan is to start fights with the Underlord Atos. That's the timing they're waiting for. As far as relatively close to it, you can Atos into Pit of Malice with Firestorm on top and Viper's Nether Toxin. It's actually a kill combo. It does so much damage when they stay in this forever. I want to say Pit of Malice into Atos into second Snap of Malice is like about 5 seconds total route. That is enough to get Nether Toxin to max DPS, and that hurts a hell of a lot, and you obviously have got to put Viper Strike on top of it. So that's how you're going to start fights, and if Team Spirit try to respond, that's when the Chrono comes in and you get that big follow-up with something else on top. Because if you, like, let's say realistically you start with Void Chrono, who are you going to Chrono? You're not Chronoing Wraith King, that feels bad. You might Chrono Mars, but he has a Blink Dagger. And then finally there's a Wind Ranger, but if Wind Ranger gets Wind Run off, she might live too.
Pops that Mars, into the arrow, absolutely a kill onto Nico Baby, like you said.
Sharks are better in the river.
Power Shot's going to connect into the Focus Fire in the top lane. S4 does have Dark Rift, but it wouldn't have gone off in time.
Are you sure?
I mean,
that took a long time.
Level 1 Dark Rift is absolute utter garbage.
True.
I mean, how many times do you think, oh, this will work? It never does. Let's be real.
It was a long kill, though. It took him like 10 seconds, so who knows? The hood definitely worked for him there.
Yeah, so a couple nice kills here for Team Spirit. And back to the, again, back to this Chronosphere talk. I'm not saying that the Nether Toxin and Firestorm aren't a lot of damage, but they have to be in position, as opposed to having a hero like we talked about, AA, the Sunstrike or Cataclysm from the... It's just all global at that point, right?
Almost landing the Shackle.
AA Blast coming in. Will connect onto one, but the Chronosphere misses for Nico Baby into a pause. Kale incoming, I do believe.
Just the instant pausing.
There's no way that's real.
You saw him smiling on the camera shot. Dude, that's great. Like, I genuinely believe him. He just realizes like how funny that is, right? Like, that situation's pretty funny. He's got a smile on his face. That's good to see.
That's hilarious.
Funny thing, that was about the exact same spot that Monet missed his Chrono last game.
It was way over to the left by the Tier 1 tower.
It was like the same general area.
It's the same quarter of the map, sure.
Yep, same quadrant.
As we see the Dark Rift, this time it should be enough, I think.
Oh, he's absolutely getting out. You're right. It was not even close.
Very good. Thank you, Cinder.
It was actually nice to see Scriff highlight on the last attempted kill, or the last successful kill, rather, on Underlord. He checked the kill recap and saw the number of seconds that the kill took. I think it was 7.
It was 7 what? What do you mean?
He had he checked the kill recap of the Underlord top, and it took them 7 seconds to kill him. So that way you can tell that casting the Underlord ulti would have been tough, right? Because he was stunned by Shackle Shot.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So probably the right call not to try.
All right, Wraith King right now.
This is a mid-tower.
Is a Hannah Midas and 2K in the bank for that upcoming Radiance.
And who is killing the tower right now?
The Siege.
The boys. It's the boys.
The boys.
The boys died. The tower got... You were right. The tower got destroyed by the siege creep.
Thank you, Cinderin.
You're welcome.
You're doing a great job today. A bounty rune spawn for Mira. What a great turn of events with that shovel. Do you min-max that thing, by the way? Do you keep it the whole game in your backpack?
I like to do that when I have the inventory space. The problem with the shovel is that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy problem where you dig up so much stuff that you don't have space for the shovel.
That is true.
At some point, but as long as you have space in your inventory, it's just like, why not?
Do you know if it has pseudo-random RNG? Because I feel like I've been on some tears with like 15 uses in a row, no bounty.
I think it's true random, actually.
Yeah, that would make sense.
One of the few things that is true random in the game.
Very unfortunate. Please fix in next patch, thank you.
I'm a sucker for pseudo-random in Dota, by the way.
This would be a huge kill. Yataro has 3,200 in the bank. Might have to buy the... No, he's fine, actually.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
They need Underlord for this kill. Okay, that's a nice
blast coming in. It will not clip anybody. Looks like they might still want to fight here. Toronto Toki is going to get...
double Atos.
Atos there with that Soulbind. FNG is not going to be able to connect on his Inkswell, and just like that, they're just... Wow, he's actually taking so much damage. Look at... Oh my god, the Ice Vortex into the power shot just blows him off. It's ridiculous. It's such a low commitment combo.
He didn't have Pit ready, right? He got a double Atos on the Soulbind, but then didn't have his own follow-up to make a double snap. Or did he get Shackle Shot? He got stunned? I didn't. Okay, that's a yes. That's Observer for yes.
Yes.
When the mouse goes up and down.
Trust our observers.
Yes. Because that would have been really good for Alliance, right? That Pit would have set up a double... oh
yeah, that would have been pretty
into
huge.
Grimstroke stun, and they would have reinforced, so... Good job from Toronto Tokyo to disrupt that.
Caster Curse, good job, Toronto Tokyo. There's the Pit of Malice.
Giga dead.
And yeah, very, very dead indeed. Looks like S4 gets credit for that one with that Firestorm. But I think the real thing that Spirit are waiting for is his Radiance. And he is not too far away. His Collapse. Looks like he'll find a kill on FNG using that Mars ult.
And this is a very good Radiance game. There are... Actually, you know what? I take it back a little bit. He is playing against Soulbind, right? So there will be one illusion that can be created if he, you know, gets all the way to X on Grimstroke. But for the most part in this game, like realistically speaking, considering it's a 5 Grim, it is a stable Radiance game. I like Radiance as a go-to for Wraith King in games where the enemy team has no illusion mechanisms. If they have even one, I don't like it very much. Like if you're playing against, say, Darkseer as the key example. Against Shadow Demon, you can handle it if you press one button, as Envy has discovered, hopefully, at this point. I believe you cast a game in the NA DPC where Radiance was being not toggled off during an entire game with Disruption. Ill-advised, but that is not the case.
Well, technically, Lyrical cast that, but yeah, shout out to him. He, yeah, that was painful to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And I know that Curtis, who was also casting that game, had messaged AOI or had messaged Envy after the game, reminding him that he could do that.
Some nice salt in the wound after you lose a very close 80-minute game or whatever it was.
By the way, you could have won the game easily by doing this.
It's pressing a button, yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah, no illusions on Alliance, so this Radiance will be nice. And not only for the offensive damage potential, but obviously you're playing into Viper as well as Void. So it's a feels-good pickup here.
Yeah, for sure. And he's only 300 away, and the Hand of Midas is getting him halfway there. So this is, I mean, the timing isn't the best we've seen, but it feels like he's just... I mean, he did go for the phase boost. That put him back a little bit farther than we're used to seeing. So not too bad overall, as long as he can get that before 20 minutes. And Limp, on the other hand, we've seen this so many times. The Dragon Lance into the Boots of Travel. Obviously going for BKB next. Actually has enough here in just a moment. So that's a bit of a power spike for him. Very, very tanky indeed and can be all over the map. And yeah, Radiance is now on the way for Yatoro. So I assume, correct me where I'm wrong here, that Spirit will probably want to start fighting now. And if they can get that pick off, I mean, Roshan has just been the biggest objective in every single game, it feels like, in this tournament. So it's just going to come down to who can get the Roshan.
Oh, good Atos.
Yep, Marzel comes out, creates a little bit of space for Collapse, and he's going to survive as a result of this, doing a little bit of chip damage to Limp in the meantime.
Has to use Arena, and they also use Moonlight. Let's see if they can use that offensively. Bit of harassing to S4, but nothing too major. Alliance want to look to push this mid-tier 1 tower with the siege creep that they have right now. Good timing. Leshrac level 11 definitely wants to get in there and be valuable with Diabolic Edict, but...
Yeah, Arrow's going to connect. A blast to follow. That is going to hit S4 squarely in the face. He's already at half HP. He's just going to get bursted down. Soulbind used in the defensive manner. But here comes the aggression from Team Spirit. They get a second kill off the back of this. Limp has to pop his BKB and TP out. Will be successful. But this tier 1 tower is saved for now.
They were so ready.
And Team Spirit could potentially just go Roche right now. I'm not sure how fast they'll take it. But yeah. Wraith King does hit hard.
You know, you feel tanky as Underlord, right? Like, you're like, okay, I'm a tanky guy. I'm farmed this game. I can walk in here next to the tower and give some sort of information. He just got 100 to 0'd.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of damage from Team Spirit coming out. It's a bit deceptive just how much damage these guys can pump out. Oh, I don't know if I like this Leshrac build. That's a little bit dicey.
All right, what's he going for?
First item, Aeon Disc.
Wow.
I'm not sold.
Oh, that rebuke was way off kilter there. Not the greatest combo, but they'll get the kill. That's all that matters for Team Spirit there. In the meantime, looks like the first life of Mr. Wraith King will come about. Nico Baby is available with that Chronosphere. You can see the Ink Swell. They're going to use it onto the Chronosphere on the 2. So this will be a kill on the Wraith King, who is now showing up that beautiful Radiance. Collapse pops his BKB, but the Mars ult really just using a defensive manner again to zone. And they're just going to cut their losses here, it looks like.
Yep. Toronto Tokyo's time to be overconfident with his tankiness. Sure, you've got 2 lives, but you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's not Toronto Tokyo.
That is correct.
That Wind Ranger is Toronto Tokyo.
You are absolutely correct.
By the way, he's had I have to say, he's had a standout
Wraith
performance.
King, not Toronto Tokyo.
Yes,
Yatoro.
Wraith King has had a little bit, that was a bit iffy, for sure.
Did you know that the 4 last letters of Yatoro's nickname are the first 4 letters of Toronto Tokyo's name?
Is that true? I don't feel like even thinking about it.
Is Taro the same as Taro? Yes, it is.
Are you saying it's a palindrome, Synderen?
That is not what that is.
Just stop talking.
Yeah.
It's too early in the morning for this conversation. I can't take it anymore. Toronto Tokyo, as we talked about, now has the BKB and going for the boots of travel. Okay. Do you think that's a little greedy right now, or do you like this?
I don't know. It might. It's probably okay. Like if you think about how this player plays for this team, right? He loves playing split push. We saw him do a great job on puck in the group stage, in the deciding game against Team Liquid, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
His puck largely kept him in the game. So I think some of these younger core players have a really good understanding of map dynamics.
That's the free roam.
When to push lanes, how to put pressure in different spots. So I don't mind it for that. In terms of just raw fighting potential, it's not a very high value item on Windranger in general. She gets fast move speed from Windrun anyway. And can relatively easily connect regardless, but said this will go the way of Toronto Tokyo.
Yep, free Aegis for Mr. Windranger now, or Mrs. or Miss. I don't actually know her history, but it'll be.
This tower is falling.
Yeah,
by
I thought they were actually trading that tier 2 bot. I'm not sure how low it is right now, but at the very least, Team Spirit will get the tier 2 top. You can get a little vision from Arrow.
Perimeter. There's nothing here, and Collapse will get that top. They're looking
to defend.
A bunch of
TPs. There's already a half HP. Hanskin has his Diabolic Edict applying. Mira jumps in with the Starstorm. Shackle shot onto the Viper. AA Blast coming from afar. Collapse gets off a nice spear, but the Underlord ult will send the whole team back to base. Now that it's level 2, it's useful again. Very good.
Oh, the tower actually still fell. It got denied, but this means that the outpost is open. The first tier 2 tower claimed by Alliance. Obviously, we have already seen Team Spirit get theirs in the top area, get that outpost themselves. So, reckon this could be an area for a team fight. Obviously, the area you really want access to now as Team Spirit is the Alliance Triangle. Since you've already unlocked the top side, you can ward this offensively and then make a smoke move across and try to take a fight there. You have the Aegis advantage, you have 2 lives on Wraith King. You're actually very, very strong right now. So wouldn't be surprised with this Boots of Travel pickup if they do a 4-man smoke and then have Toronto Tokyo push a different lane and connect. He can connect on, I believe he can fully connect on the Wraith King skeletons, but obviously needs to be careful that it doesn't get killed while he's TPing in.
Yeah.
But they do have the option, at least, of pre-using those before they initiate and then traveling to connect with the team.
You can see FNG, like he talked about. I mean, he has Aether Lens and wants to go for Ags. Whether he'll get that or not is another question, but obviously the Dark Portrait will be created for the Wraith
off
King.
Radiance. If Yatoro finds him here, this is food.
Yes. Goodbye, FNG. Inkswell, actually, does it actually go off if dispelled? Is that how it works?
If he dies, it doesn't go off, I believe.
I thought he died before it went off. Okay, we'll watch that.
Wait, did he stun him?
No, I thought that he died before it should have gone off and it went off anyway, but I don't know how that actually interacts. But we're going to see the Atos into the pit, so that's a double root. The Mars ult is out here, but Nico B pops the BKB, not able to actually find a kill. And remember, this is 3v5 disadvantage for Alliance, so a little bit...
Yep. Simultaneously, Windranger did solo kill Leshrac bottom, so they got those 2 kills at 2 different sides of the map. And yeah, that was like the perfect display of what you were talking about. Void can't solo kill even the position 4. In a full duration chrono where he's uncountered with this itemization, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on bypassing Mask of Madness this game. I think that's really integral to finding kills for their lineup right now.
I mean, if he gets the MKB before they've lost racks, that's when he can start killing
that
people,
right there is a kill with Mom, right?
True.
It is.
That's true.
It just is. So...
All right, Yatoro getting chased here. Has his level 3 ultimate now, so it's going to be really annoying to deal with. Of course, the Aegis is not on him right now. Let's see if they can burst him down. They'll be able to do so pretty easily on the outskirts of this Pit of Malice. Chronosphere is applied with the BKB, and yeah, with that, Alliance have to kind of rethink the strategy, although they're going to go back in now that the Chronosphere is down. Soulbind onto 2. Looks like he's just going to run away successfully. And the root does connect onto Mira, but is walking away successfully. Collapse with that blink. No Mars ult for 7 seconds, so...
Bit of
no
a
way to initiate.
Spicy situation here for Team Spirit. Again, Yatoro just really posing on the map in a position that he's not really covered in. So I don't know if this is like intentional mind games or if he's kind of just overextending a little bit. Sure, he got away with murder there, but I don't know if you could just give him full credit for knowing that he was fine. Obviously, the BKB keeps him alive during the chrono in the second life, so at least he definitely was accounting for that, but... That was dangerous. His teammates had a long way to run, and they never connected. Hearing a BKB.
Yeah, that's on Collapse. He's going to find FNG. Okay. Yeah, Arena's out. Spear connects, and down he goes. So a support kill, of course, we've talked about this so many times. Mars ult, even at this stage of the game, I mean, it's a low cooldown, so just using it to get one pick up, even if it's on position 5, is perfectly fine. It's not like a Ravage or anything like that.
This tower is also going down. Wait, what? He has dewarded 20 wards?
Is that real? That can't be
Is he just placing sentries in the fountain and denying them and casting Ice Blasts all game?
Is that a real stat?
Has he... What?
I don't know if that's real.
I mean, even if you combine ops and sentries, dewarding 20 wards in 28 minutes is...
Yeah, that's not possible.
A Guinness World Record.
Does Guinness do Dota World Records? I'm not sure.
I think Dota has been in the Guinness Book of Records before.
Yeah, but for like biggest prize pool probably or something like that.
Either that or on average least happy player or something like that.
The crippling depression, yeah.
Oh,
Toronto Tokyo.
There's nothing to shackle to there.
Will not connect. But it looks like Alliance are more scared of the Wind Ranger. I believe the timer at the top right, unless they, I was going to say it's not correct, so it is expended now. And a Dark Rift. Will they? Yeah, they'll be able to get out pretty easily here.
It still is the way this game is developing really is Team Spirit favorite though.
Oh, Arena into the spear, and Yataro's here with the stun as well. This looks like an easy kill onto. Oh, Lamp pops the BKB. Will this be enough? It looks like he might survive. Actually, Raytheon's just going to kill his on and crit him right in the back of the head, despite using that BKB. Ends up being a wasted charge and a pretty high value kill for Team Spirit.
I was sure he was going to die before he even got BKB and one buff, but just barely.
Oh, okay. Go back to Void here, Mr. Spectator, if you could, real quick. Is it going? Okay, sorry, I was clicking on somebody else. I was gonna say I thought he switched from MKB to Ags. I'm like, wow, that's a little crazy, but.
Alliance are struggling though. Like they're not. It's not just that they're 7,000 gold behind. It's that nothing really seems to be happening. Like they're not connecting plays. They seem to have a little bit of a damage problem, and with the position of the map and how Team Spirit are playing and how they're utilizing Wind Ranger. Which I'm sure Slacks will be absolutely thrilled about seeing Wind Ranger actually do one hell of a job.
He's dead again.
It's difficult to walk out on the map because if you walk out alone, Wind Ranger can solo almost any of your heroes with her current level of farm. And if you group up when you move out, there are multiple targets that you kind of don't want to find, right? Like you don't really want to find Wind Ranger. She can react and blink out.
Oh, Toronto Tokyo with the focus fire. You can see the Eon Disc does proc. He's just going to try to sidestep this split earth and he'll be successful. Nice kill from Toronto Tokyo. He didn't even have to bother popping the BKB. It's still the full 9 seconds on it.
I feel like Alliance really rely on some sort of successful smoke move where they kind of have to find Wind Ranger, right? Like nothing else is really going to cut it. If you find Wraith King, it takes really long time for their lineup to kill him twice. If you find Mars, you could probably kill him, but it'll be a big commitment. And your map is just really, you're kind of strangled on the map right now. Like they're just controlling your triangle. You feel like you can't really access it. Wind Ranger is just moving completely freely because of this bot's pickup, just going from lane to lane whatever way she pleases. I don't know, Alliance seem intimidated. Like they're waiting for something. I don't think it gets easier.
Yeah, Wraith King Yataro picks up an Assault Cuirass. I mean, I feel like with all these items he's building, we've talked about this before, but the Dark Portrait potential from FNG, if he's able to get that axe, becomes even stronger.
That is
both
true.
with Radiance and Assault. He's about 1,800 from finishing that. But yeah, 11K net worth advantage for Team Spirit now. As we're going to see a smoke here from Alliance. They have everything online. So see if they can get this combo going with, I guess their version is the Nether Toxin and Firestorm. It's namely into Soulbind.
We're in a tough spot now for Alliance, right? Because the only catch you have now that's reliable is actually Chrono. The Atos of Underlord has been overpowered now by items, and starting with Chrono is proving to be really, really difficult against their lineup. So it's kind of, this is the risk you take when you take a support duo like this, right? Like it's Leshrac Grimstroke. Who's setting each other up? Nobody's setting each other up. And he went Aeon Disc first item, not something like Yule's where he can make his own like plays or whatever, just staying alive. But so they don't really have that catch. That a lot of the successful lineups in this tournament have run stuff like DK, right? Like some sort of easy way to start DK, Puck, these kind of heroes that just commits something to start. Even Mars with the Arena. It's not Chronosphere tier in how crucial it is to land correctly, and it deals damage, which is something Void can't say for himself with the Chrono. So.
Yep.
This smoke just did nothing. They found nothing.
Yeah, they smoked out, and then Team Spirit scanned them around the pit, so they thought they were going for an early Roche, but they obviously found that that's not the case. Now a counter scan from Alliance, basically in the same area, was successful as well. So they have a general idea that Team Spirit is in the vicinity, so they obviously have to be careful here. Limp does have the Scotty, so that's going to be pretty good against the Wraith King.
Do they have damage?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Can Alliance kill a single BKB'd hero? Let's say AA had a BKB. Would it die in Chrono if it BKB'd right now?
AA?
Yeah. Let's say AA had a BKB.
Yeah.
Can they do 1,500 physical damage in a Chrono when he BKBs? With their heroes?
I think so. If it's an AA.
So barely.
Barely.
Yeah.
I had to think about it, so it's
that's
barely.
concerning, right? Like
Yeah.
if we have to... Okay, this is Toronto Tokyo. Didn't dagger.
Malice, BKB is popped into the Chronosphere, and that's going to put this to the test here, Cinder. And do they have enough damage to follow this up with? It's going to be close. Looks like he finally gets the bash, and it takes forever, but they do get the kill in the end. But Grimstroke falls. Remember, Wraith King's still very healthy. Collapse gets a Mars ult off onto 2. The Dark Rift coming out. He's going to try to take Nico Baby with him. Will anybody else come with is the question. Looks like 3 of them are going to go back to base, but no, the Void dies in the meantime. Esor cancels the ult, and now he gets crit down by Yataro. A 3 for 1, make it 4. He canceled that, right?
They thought they were winning the fight.
Absolutely, and now their entire team is dead. Collapse gets out just a sliver of HP.
They did not win the fight.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Cinder. I think we can all see that they definitely did not win this fight.
If you are new to Dota, Alliance lost this fight. All of their heroes died.
You should make guides on YouTube. Obvious guide by Cinderin.
The intro guide to Purge's guide. Dead bad.
Oh boy, this is going to hurt. I mean, 16k advantage for Team Spirit. They're going to be able to get, I believe, at least one full set of racks, pending any buybacks here.
So, like, you see it there, right? Yeah, you do kill the Wind Ranger, but they needed to Chrono, commit fully on it for, like, the entire Chrono went to killing this one hero, and he needed help. They needed to use all their own defensive items to even be able to deal damage, and then they lost the 4v5 after.
Well, the Dark Rift was they were fine.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
if they went back, then that's a one fight.
Absolutely. Right? It could have been a draw, or, well, a slight win, right? Because you lost Grimstroke, I think, in the opener.
So you're saying Grimstroke for Wind Ranger is even?
No. It would have been a win, but again, it wouldn't have been a big one, right? And this would have been the end outcome, regardless.
That's true.
When Chrono, if you use Chrono in a game like this and you don't win the fight convincingly, you're giving up control of the map again, and this is going to easily go the way of Team Spirit.
Aegis, Cheese, Shard. AA already has Shard, so that gives the Ice Vortex damage over time, so you can actually push waves. And the Shard, this is one of my favorites in the game. So Spear can hit 2 people now.
I can see it this game.
Inside that arena, very strong, and it does damage over time as well as slows. So
he's against a lineup that needs to come in close to deal damage, so getting double spears is way more likely here. You're against Leshrac needs to come in close, Void needs to come in close, Underlord wants to come in close.
FNG has Aghanim Scepter now.
That is true.
This is Dark Portrait, so you can just, it's a single target spell applied to an enemy here, which will be Wraith King. It creates a very powerful illusion. It does more damage theoretically, than Wraith King himself.
That is true. Well, depending on what items he has.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage. It's very strong.
And they do have, obviously, the natural synergy of having Dark Rift with Dark Portrait. So if you're into any sort of Pokemon, this is a very strong synergy somehow.
Yes, they definitely see. You create an illusion and then TP away.
And then you have
everybody. Very good synergy.
And then you cancel it.
Well, we've seen that. It didn't work out too well for Alliance.
Here comes the high ground.
Indeed. So 21k
double
network
siege
lead
creep.
now. Yeah, the
and
siege
the
is going to go
boys
to work here.
Are tanking.
You can see the Spear of Mars Shard doing work on the trees in that top area.
Leshrac with the Shard is going to start these pulsing split earths.
Yeah, Leshrac has that really annoying Shard. Everybody seems to love this thing.
That is one thing Alliance's lineup is very good at, I will say. It is amazing when fights are contained in one area. Pit of Malice, Chronosphere, Split Earth Shard, Soulbind. Very nice. But they are also 21k behind and have almost no space on the map to work with. And their heroes are so extremely dependent on each other that finding moves as like a duo seems challenging. Like, what 2 heroes are you going to go with to find a kill on Wraith King, to find a kill on Mars, to find a kill on Wind Ranger? It's almost impossible to see it without Chrono. It feels like a necessity for every kill.
So blow up Wraith King once.
Get the Aegis. He can
and the Pit of Malice is a pretty good tool here. Yeah, BKB, there's the Dark Portrait. Get some creep kills. Yeah, that's the most farm you got in quite a while there. Beautiful. You can make up for this Aghanim Scepter easily. That 4,200 gold's nothing for this illusion, Cinderin.
Yeah, look
at this thing.
Look at it go.
Look at Bo! Yeah! It looks so menacing, too. I love the color. It's so nice.
Damn, Nico Baby's Wraith King is really strong here. The actual carry of Alliance right now is Grimstroke.
Okay, is there any, obviously the AC you don't want to get rid of, but is there any way that you just disable your Radiance until he Dark Portraits and then enable it again? Is that actually a play?
It is a play.
Is it a good play?
I think so, actually. I don't think it's that difficult to do, right? In the heat of the moment, Grimstroke is probably not going to be checking all the time whether you have Radiance off or on.
Yeah, for sure not.
And it's not that crucial in the beginning of the fight. It's crucial once Chrono comes out, right? Can you toggle Radiance when you're Chronoed? I think you can't.
I don't think so, yeah.
It freezes everything, right?
Yeah.
So it is very nice for him to have that active, just in case of some misses coming out from someone during the Chrono.
Yeah.
But either way, I wouldn't be too concerned for Team Spirit right now. You saw Alliance, yeah, they get 1 kill on Wraith King there.
Use their strength against them, young man.
They take his ulti off and they force the BKB, but that was like a 4-man rotation into their own triangle, and they did not get the triangle back.
Yeah, level 25 for Yatoro, I assume. Yeah, he took the crit 25 talent.
Incredible talent.
Yeah, it takes it from 4 seconds to 2. So basically every other attack or every 3 attacks basically is a crit. Very nice.
Crazy, crazy talent.
Yeah. Ever since they swapped skills with Chaos Knight, Wraith King has felt much better to play, I have to say, and CK not so much. Back to RNG for him, it seems.
Very fitting for the hero, though.
Yeah. Although his ult, I don't think gives an extra illusion a percentage of the time anymore, so technically not all his skills have RNG anymore.
I think his win rate is random, though.
That's true. It's usually on the downside, though, so maybe it's not as random
Whenever
as
you go into the game and you check inside the game, you check the Heroes tab to see the win rate for Chaos Knight. It is different every game, so you don't really know.
Okay, so it's like a hidden mechanic there. I kind of like that. Okay. And I think another mechanic behind the hero is when you get Aghanim's Scepter, which creates an illusion of every hero on the map, it gives a random number of FPS for each individual person, usually single digits, just a couple seconds.
Actually, the legit strat of playing Chaos Knight together with PL and Monkey King.
Yeah. Oh, God, the two things that will never get fixed. Okay.
All right, they've set a trap
Toronto,
here.
Tokyo.
He has Aegis.
He sure
Good
does.
stun.
Hit him out to start things. Oh, my
That's
God.
Easily.
They destroy him so fast. Has to pop his BKB instantly now. Chrono is going to set it up before he can even do so. So this is going to be easy double, basically, for Alliance.
They could take a fight back.
Yeah, they're coming in. Collapse. He's going to be inside the Split Earth for now. Now that Chronosphere is down, see if they can burst him down with that Focus Fire. Looks like Toronto Tokyo is going to do so very easily. And now Alliance trying to get the hell out. I'm not sure if he used the Dark Rift already, but doesn't have it available right now. They're going to get rid of Wraith King for once. He'll come back shortly and likely just clean up this fight and almost certainly the game to follow. Is S4 kind of stuck on the wrong side of the trees there. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 with the buyback, if you want to call it that. But
I think they used Dark Rift to set up the kill, right?
Oh, okay.
Because if not, that is a clean disengage. The moment that buyback comes out, Dark Rift, everyone get together, get out. But they end up fragmenting because the Mars comes in with the arena, right? You see it's on cooldown currently. So Nico is splitting off to the left. He just gets chased down and killed by Wind Ranger. Nothing he can do. It's a really good hero against Faceless Void. Once Chrono's expended, you just sit on him until he dies, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was very, very easy for Team Spirit with that buyback.
Yeah, we can see them on the high ground already. Yatoro going to get healed a bit here. Buyback now onto S4 and onto Limp.
He's in really far on Yatoro. BKB on cooldown.
He still has that second life. He's going to blink out with that Mars ult being used to try to create a little zoning mechanism here. Looks like that's going to be a dieback onto S4 after the buyback here. So a very valuable kill again. They're going to buy back into the Mirana now. They really want to finish this now. Going to apply all the pressure to Hanskin, who gets slapped in the face, and now Limp on the other side. Toronto Tokyo pops the BKB with that Focus Fire. Another dieback, and they know that Chronosphere is down, so they're not really fearing the Void necessarily. So it's a 5v3. We'll see what Team Spirit can do here. Or Alliance, for that matter. I mean, Nico Baby does have the MKB. I mean, that took him, sadly, I mean, obviously they're behind, but it took him way longer than he would have liked.
Yeah, for sure.
Just hasn't really had that long enough to really make a big difference here. You can see he's actually toggling the Radiance. He's just waiting for this Dark Fortress. He's going to jump the Grimstroke. Looks like he's not even going to need to. A double crit, basically. Yatoro destroys him, and Nico Baby, Spirit Vessel right now. I think they can just focus on buildings if they really want. And they're going to do just that. Just have to stay on the outskirts of this annoying Split Earth. In the meanwhile, Collapse just soloing down the Lesh, and Nico Baby, the last remaining member for Alliance. Buyback available on Grim, but it's not really going to matter. GGs are called. And yeah, Alliance, they are 0-3 at the Major right now, Cinder.
And this was not even close.
Well, for the first 10 minutes of the time.
Yeah, at every turn they just got outplayed. The moves that were successful, they were all coming out of Team Spirit. I think Alliance didn't win a single fight this whole game. That's what it felt like to me watching it. They didn't get Roche. They lost overall on towers. They lost the team fights. They lost on farm. So everything, just everything going with Team Spirit. And we're back to this age-old discussion, which is about 1 day old from ourselves, which is it a big advantage or disadvantage to not have had that time to get all these games in during the group stage? Alliance are definitely coming in with some different ideas from the teams that have done well throughout the groups and advanced. And it feels like their ideas so far, I'm just not sold. Like, I need to see this work before I believe in it, right? Like, I can look at the draft and I can see, yeah, I know what they're going for, but is it good in this patch? And like,
well, we kind of saw the same thing from Liquid to a degree, right? But they played a lot more games, and then eventually they're like, okay, we'll pick the usual meta heroes that we're seeing right now. And they had more success, but then just didn't quite have enough to continue on in the tournament.
It's... Yeah, what have Alliance tried so far? They've played Underlord, which hasn't been very popular. They played Slark yesterday, also not very popular. And then they've tried to like mix and match with this kind of team fight with Faceless Void. Also haven't had that much success with that. So I think you might need to go for something lower cooldown, something simpler, and something faster. Like,
I mean, it's the same thing we kind of talked about with Aster, at least in their first 2 games that they played yesterday, I believe, where they went for this slower lineup, and it just didn't work out against this fast-paced T1, right? So we'll see what the panel has to say about this terrific performance from Team Spirit.
Copium, Fivehead, Poggers. These are some of the very many emotions that we see in Twitch chat throughout a match like this. But we're maybe just 1 game away from sending another team home, and that was one of the teams that had one of the best spots that you could possibly have in this tournament, or so we thought, which was waiting in the upper side of the bracket. But all of the teams who were waiting in the upper side of the bracket seemed to be tripping over their own feet.
I don't know really where to start with this game, unfortunately, for Alliance. This was one of those games where, like, your carry, your Void, he's pretty much got, maybe after the pause for the lag chrono, every single chrono after that also just had the same effect. He pretty much had like 6 out of 6 chronos where didn't net a kill, didn't really do anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, I want to touch on a couple things. They see the AA first pick, and one of the most